So in the time we have left, would you share with us some success stories from some of the corporations that you've worked with? Because you have people that decide we're a chain of grocery stores, or we're this type of business.
Yeah.
I mean, this isn't just for individuals or small companies. Talk about the corporate side of this and what impact, what impact you have.
Yeah, and let me, with a quick story, let me lead it with a quick story. George, and I love this story because stories tell such a big picture. George Bernard Shaw, most of you know who he was, famous writer. Near the end of his life, he was with a group of reporters. And one of the reporters asked him a simple question. He said, George, knowing what you know now, if you could live your life all over again and be anybody you wanted to be, a politician, a religious person, if you could be anybody you wanted to be and live all over again, knowing what you know now, who would you be? And he thought about it for a moment. He said, you know what? If I could live my life all over again, knowing what I know now, and I could be anybody I wanted to be, I would be the George Bernard Shaw that it could have been.
Oh, yeah.
And that hit me so hard because what he was talking about was living to his full potential, without the fear, without the doubt, without the limiting belief systems, without carrying our chains of pain from our past into other people's future. Every person out there is a living, breathing human being who has scars, has hurts and bruises and scars. And when they can take that and repurpose that pain, take their pain and use it for a different purpose, we turn hurts, bruises, and scars into heart, body, and soul. There's two places to leave your stuff in life because we all got stuff. You can leave it on the table or you can leave it on the field. And Lisa Marie, if you leave it on the table, that's a sales analogy. That means you didn't get as much as you could have got. But when you leave it on the field, you spend yourself in a worthy cause. And that worthy cause is your life. Because I believe it's appointed for man to die one time and then comes the judgment. So live it well. But I work with corporations, Coca-Cola, Kraft, Nabisco. I've done a lot of work with the Army, a Michelin tire. One time, I can find the testimonial. They sent a group of people through my training together, 16 of them. And they sent me, and I can find the data for you. In 6 months, they had increased production by 60%, they doubled some things. Here's the key. The greatest asset of any corporation, I'm talking about Coca-Cola, Kraft, Nabisco, is the hearts and minds of their people.
Yeah.
And so if you have a good team, I'm telling you right now, most people are given 60, 70%, if that, because they're hurting, they're broken, they got trauma, they got drama, they got a broken marriage, they got struggling financially, they were molested or abused as a child and have never dealt with it, still bother them 30 years later. So what I do is I clean up the head and the heart. So when they go back, now instead of getting 60 or 70%, you're getting 80 or 90% of employee. Imagine if each one of your salespeople doubled their sales. If each one of your office personnel did a better job, how that would affect the bottom line. And more importantly, we get people on fire for their lives. We get people on fire for the mission. So in Coca-Cola, and they've sent me about 800 executives. I went through a period of time about 15 years ago, Lisa Marie and Stephanie. I always go to Lisa Marie. Apologize.
It's okay.
For a 3-month period of time, I had a class for Coca-Cola every single week in over 3 months. And they were 20-person classes. 20-person classes.
That's big.
I had about 800 people. And what they did when they went back, they were more loyal to Coca-Cola. They bled Coca-Cola red. They were on fire. Coca-Cola sent them a class that saved their marriage, that made them a better father or mother, that got them off some drugs, that got them into counseling to finally deal with that trauma that they've been struggling with for 25 years. I opened the door. Now they heal it up. So, it doesn't matter if you're a corporation. I do this for churches. I do this for homeless people. This is about the individual. When it's called under construction, we're going to be a little bit better today than yesterday, a little bit better tomorrow than today. In the corporate world, you call that lean manufacturing, Six Sigma, Lean Sigma, K9, constant, never-ending improvement. That's who I am. That's what I do.
I love the way you're describing this. And one of the things that you said that is so important to me, it's one of my pillars of my life, of my three-legged stool, is loyalty. And that's something that we don't see in corporate America very much. Right. Stephanie can speak to that. She recruited me to one of the largest international real estate companies a few years ago. And she can talk to you about how, loyalty it's kind of a value of the past. And if you can take your staff members or your key personnel and not only get them on fire so that they're producing more, and you produce loyalty, and then you can continue to nurture that relationship with your employees, I mean, that's really powerful.